Hey, how's it going everyone? Teysind here and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be looking at my PlayStation portable collection. Quick note, PSP I think is the one of the most underrated and underloved PSP hand consoles to so I should say like a wide demographic. But it has really cool niche and I should say diverse range of Japanese RPGs and a lot of cool games. A lot of games have been remastered for the system from back on the PS1. So for those of you who have PSP, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But for those of you that don't, definitely something to consider getting. I mean, you find them for next to nothing now. I think I've seen them for about $50, 40, maybe even $30 Australian, which is like maybe 20 US. A lot of people do get rid of them. So if you do see them, and you're interested after you see sort of some of the games that I show you, then definitely consider getting one. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into my collection. So starting off first on the list is Final Fantasy 1. I picked this up secondhand for maybe like $13.50 or so off eBay. Really glad to get this. Obviously the first Final Fantasy game, this is in its sort of best iteration, you know, in terms of visual fidelity and everything, completeness, I should say. Sorry. I know this came out on the Game Boy Advance Final Fantasy 1 2 Dawn of Souls, so obviously this builds on for that. I think it's got the Dawn of Souls dungeons or something. All I know is this one definitely has it all, so definitely one to consider getting if you haven't gone already and you're a big Final Fantasy lover. So yeah, that's first on my list. Second on my list is Final Fantasy 2. Also, this is the complete, I should say, most recent version of Final Fantasy 2. I got this for a bit more, maybe about $20 or so. I'm fine with paying that much for this because Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on the PSP in Australia are really hard to come by. So to actually get the games and under like, you know, an extreme amount of money, because I've sometimes see them go for quite a bit more, but to get them, you know, under or within that $20 range, you know, really happy with that. But yeah, so that's second on my list, Final Fantasy 2. Third on my list is Final Fantasy 4, the complete collection. So this includes Final Fantasy 4, the I should say the final, most recent version of the PS1 game. So this is the 2D graphics. It has all the updated content. I think that's been added to it either in this version or through other versions, but this one has it. It's got the, I think it's like an interquel, and then it's got Final Fantasy 4, the After Years. Really happy to get this because this is really hard to get in Australia, and I managed to get this I think for $10 or so off eBay, so really happy with that one. And also then separately I managed to pick up just for like $3 or so this here. So this is sort of like the CD wipes, and really cool to get that. It didn't. So this game came as like a little special edition. It was the game. It came with sort of that wipe you saw, some art cards, and I think a little booklet, or in like a little cardboard special edition box. And obviously I didn't manage to get it in that box. I just managed to get the game itself. Not too worried though, because I really just want to get the game, and you know, the manuals and everything inside. So regardless, can't complain. But if I do see sort of those little extras on the side for a good enough price, then yeah, I'll definitely pick them up. So yeah, Final Fantasy 4 complete collection is third on my list. Fourth on my list is Final Fantasy Tactics: The War of the Lion. So this is also another, I should say, they're all Final Fantasy remasters. This is a remaster of Final Fantasy Tactics on the PS1. Really happy to get this. I only just got this game, but I've been wanting to play it since I was a kid. I remember seeing Final Fantasy Tactics on PS1, but it was never available in Australia, so I could never get it. And obviously this came out, when this came out, I should say, then I wanted to get this one. And yeah, I managed to pick this up. Really cheap as well, but really happy to get that in my collection. So moving on the list, also Final Fantasy, but this was the first PSP game I got, and it was the main reason I wanted to get the PSP at the time, and that is Crisis Core Final Fantasy 7. So this is obviously the prequel to Final Fantasy 7. A lot of these, so some of these events sort of told through flashbacks and memories in Final Fantasy 7, but to then finally be able to go back, play the game in its entirety, and really understand what happened before Final Fantasy 7, what led to Final Fantasy 7, and Cloud being the main protagonist. You play as Zack in this, the original protagonist. Such a fantastic story. I really like it. Really beautiful. And definitely, if you got a PSP and you love RPGs, even if you're new to Final Fantasy, you've got to give this a go. So yeah, that's the next game on my list. Moving on is the Final Fantasy Dissidia series. So that is Final Fantasy Dissidia, the first one, and then Final Fantasy Dissidia 012, Duodecim. Just got these games to add to collection. I think I got Dissidia for $5 or so at Cash Converters. Can't remember how much I got this one for. Also really cheap. I saw that one on eBay, and pretty much just got them to add to the collection. I wouldn't mind playing them sometime. I played the original Dissidia just a bit, but I know there's a Dissidia arcade, and it's a full PS4 style game, and I believe it was announced to be coming to consoles, or I'm not too sure. Maybe that was just Japan only, or maybe not. Maybe it's saying arcade and it's just sort of something that's being considered. But if that one comes out, I'll definitely play that, because I remember watching, I think it was Maximilian Dude was watching gameplay. If you don't know him, awesome YouTuber, really cool guy, who talks about and he also plays a lot of fighting games and stuff. You have endless hours of joy watching his stuff, and also his streams and everything. But he, I think, went into depth. He did a trailer analysis of the new Dissidia, at least the ones in the arcade in Japan. And then seeing them, I sort of don't really want to play these games now, but you never know, I might give them a go. I might play the recent one, because I believe that incorporates the first one into it. So yeah, they're the next games on my list. Now, this game in my collection is actually one of my favourite games in my whole collection. Belongs to my favourite series. The game I've played the most on the PlayStation Portable, and I actually played this while studying, and I just played 50 hours like that. And while studying, it's really hard for me to play games, but with this game, it just went like that. So without further ado, that is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. This is my favourite Kingdom Hearts game in the series, or equally favourite with I'd say with Kingdom Hearts 1. And it's hard, all the Kingdom Hearts games I really enjoy, especially having played them from a child, but this one just stands out to me so much. I remember just going straight through it like that, and I really love that this was the first Kingdom Hearts game that, instead of creating questions, it gave us answers, and we learned all this stuff about what happened in the past, because it's a prequel, and we played as these 3 brand new characters that we thought maybe had no, if not a slight connection to the current main characters, but it turns out they have a significant connection. And I won't say any more, because I don't want to go spoiling this, but basically it's fantastic that you get to play as these 3 characters separately, and everything sort of connects up, and then, right at the end, just a fantastic game. So I'm really happy this came out, the Final Mix version on the PS3. I still haven't even played it, Final Mix version, so definitely I've got to get onto that soon. But yeah, that is the next game in my PlayStation Portable collection. So getting toward the end of my collection, and the next game I have is Tales of Eternia. I don't have the cover art or manual for this game. I just got the case and the game itself, but an old friend of mine that I used to go to school with, or my friend's brother, gave it to me for free. So and I was really happy. And at the time, I didn't even realise what it was. He just gave me a collection of PSP UMD videos and games. No, I think this was the only game that he gave me, but the others were UMD videos. And I'd played Tales of Destiny 2 when I was young. But for those of you from North America, Tales of Destiny 2 is actually called Tales of Eternia here. So when I got this game, I didn't know that this was that same game that I played as a kid. And I always wanted to own it, because I played it, I think I borrowed it or something. But when I put this in and I realised what game this was, I was so excited. It was just like getting a hidden gem without even looking for it. So yeah, really happy to get this game. Fantastic game. And last on my PlayStation Portable collection is Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. So, as you know from my PlayStation 2 collection, I'm a big Ratchet and Clank fan. And I really wanted to play this, especially play a Ratchet and Clank game on the PSP, handheld style. And I really like this. It felt like a proper Ratchet and Clank game. There were some issues. I remember there was a lot of sort of lag, I should say frame rate issues and stuff, and and things like that. But I really enjoyed it, and I found the final boss, quite a cool challenge to face. I think this came out on the PlayStation 2, but it's really hard to come by, at least here. And it's sort of a side story. I think it takes place after number 3. Don't quote me on that, but I really enjoyed getting this and playing it. And if I find it on the PS2, I'll definitely pick that up as well. But in the meantime, I'm just really excited for the Ratchet and Clank PS4 remake coming out soon. But yeah, so that is the last game on my PlayStation Portable collection. So yeah, thank you so much. Leave your comments below, let me know what you thought of any of these games. Maybe you had some really cool memories with some of them too, especially Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Maybe you have some games to recommend. I mean, there are still so many great PSP games that I still want to get. I think Tactics Ogre is one. And just lots of other games. I know they got the Persona Portable games. I wouldn't mind getting the full, like the PS2, or I think Persona 4 Golden on the PS Vita. Don't have a PS Vita yet, so I mean, following on from this video, PS Vita is definitely something I should get. But just trying to think what else. Yeah, please let me know, guys. Maybe you guys also have some other really cool games that you'd enjoy that are completely separated. But yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. And until the next video, stay spot on.